It's bad, man. It's really, really bad. These last few chapters have really been a disappointment, but this one I think just seals the deal. Oh my gosh. Where do I even begin? I read the spoilers a few days ago, and I thought it was just, they were terrible. They were complete and utter garbage. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I might need some apple cider after this one. With that being said, we have chapter 383 of Rent-a-Girlfriend. We're coming off of last chapter of Kazuya picking up Chizuru and them walking back. For reference in the story, timeline-wise, Kazuya moves out of the house because the repairs of the apartment will be done. So this is his last night together with Chizuru, and it was the night of their date, which did not go well, as many of you already know. But yeah, Chizuru got some blisters on the date, and now Kazuya's being a white knight and carrying her back home after he got rejected, and pretty brutally. Most of this chapter was pretty good in the sense that we got less Kazuya monologue, and we actually got him talking with Chizuru. That's been a big pain point in the series, is that every time he talks about Chizuru, it's never with her for the most part, it's in his head. But here he's forced to talk to her face to face. But yeah, starting from the top, they're just walking back home, and Chizuru is just being very apologetic, saying, I'm sorry that it had to be this way. Kazuya at first, he's like, oh no, don't worry, you're not heavy. It's not an issue. But then Chizuru says that's not what I'm talking about, right? Because she's talking about the rejection. You know, she just can't get a hold of her feelings, and she just can't really be true with herself, and she's kind of making Kazuya wait on a response. I mean, the long wait time for her response is not really warranted, but I mean, story-wise, we really have not gotten that much good interaction with them together. This whole date arc should not have dragged on for this long, but the way that Kazuya just got rejected and the way this whole situation has been handled is very, very bad. Like, even though the date arc has been like 100 chapters, we've been on this whole research arc ever since Paradise, right? And Hawaiians, like that whole arc. So it's been a long time. Like, it's on like the timeline of Wano, bro. Like, this is not Wano. But yeah, that's just gonna be what it's gonna be. After Chizuru's done apologizing, Kazuya still says, but is it still okay if I can still love you for a little bit longer? I mean, yes, this makes sense because it's like, he can't just say, you know, he can't just drop how he feels that quickly. You know, he's been madly in love with Chizuru this entire time. So of course it's gonna be very difficult for him to just fall out of love with her, right? Alright, I'm back. I had to rethink my life decisions for a little bit, but we get some crazy bombshell that Chizuru drops here, right? After Kazuya says, can I keep loving you for a little bit longer? She says straight up, no. Like, what? What is it, like, why? And Kazuya's just kind of freaking out. And then she gives her reasoning, and her reasoning is that it just doesn't seem right. It doesn't feel right. Chizuru thinks that she's just taking so much from Kazuya and kind of taking advantage of him, and she's still not able to really comprehend how she feels, right? And she's saying that if she was in his position, she would hate herself, you know, for doing all of this nonsense, kind of installing this whole thing out. Kazuya's like, no, that's not true, and I couldn't stand to see you being like that, right? Because Kazuya's still kind of thinking of the present, thinking about what's happening right now, and how he just wants to help her, right? And then he also says, do you remember what I said? I'll wait for however long it takes. So basically, Kazuya, really ever since the movie arc, has kind of been committed to the Chizuru cause, right? He really hasn't given up, so not much is really gonna change here. He's still just gonna want Chizuru regardless of what happens. And then he says, I don't think it's possible for me in my lifetime to love anyone more than I love you. I don't know. What is happening, man? I mean, at least we're getting Kazuya actually talking to Chizuru. Like, holy, like, who thought that this was a good idea? Like, I don't know. But we are getting more of his serious side, which is always good. I don't really feel like he's developing as a character in this arc, really at all. I think it's just he's forced to not be in his like gooner mind the whole entire time. But I still don't think he's really changing as a character fundamentally. I think he's just being less degenerate. Yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of disappointing, man. Like, he's basically denying Chizuru's rejection of saying that he can love her for as long as he wants to, and he's just gonna keep on loving her. I mean, I don't know, bro. I don't know. And then they have like a little back and forth on this issue. I mean, like, bro, it's just so stupid. It's so stupid. How did we get here? Why are we even here? How are we gonna get past this? And what's gonna happen in the future? I genuinely have no clue. After last chapter, before I read the spoilers, I was really just expecting them to just go home and then we just kind of start a new arc and have the other girls in the series fix it. But it seems like Reiji wants to just take the more straightforward approach and try to mend their relationship here and now. We did get Chizuru's monologue from last chapter that was like a future version of herself reminiscing about this exact moment that's going on right now, and it seemed pretty positive, and it kind of signified that they were gonna get together later in the story. But here I don't know. But yeah, after they're done with their little back and forth, Chizuru has another monologue as they're walking back. It's pretty long, I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but essentially what she's saying is that her feelings for him are true, but also her decision to reject him right then and there were true, and they weren't like her fake feelings or what she wanted right in that moment. But then she's also saying that she feels guilty for doing all of this, and that for Kazuya's sake, she can't keep going on like this. And yeah, she basically just feels really bad about the situation. And then the weird part that happens here is her talking about Kazuya's neck, right? Because I guess that's where a person's scent is the most prominent, and then she decides to sniff his neck while she's riding on his back, and then it reminds her of a familiar scent, which was her grandpa. And that's kind of where we leave off the chapter. And kind of on the way back, basically they just keep having the little back and forth of Kazuya saying, I'm gonna keep loving you, and Chizuru keeps saying no. Yeah, man, it's a train wreck. It's really bad. I don't even know what to say here. Like, Chizuru's literally saying that she's in love with him because that's what she said during the rejection, is that she had feelings for him. But then she also said, I'm not ready yet. And that was also true, which was confirmed in this chapter. So I'm guessing that we just need more character development between the two. And for me personally, I've been reading it for a very long time, and we rarely ever get this. We rarely ever get any character development, so it's hard for me to envision them getting closer together very quickly. Hopefully that's the next arc. Hopefully we can end on a good conclusion, because I don't know what is happening right now. I really don't know, especially if we're gonna focus on Chizuru and Kazuya. How do we even get the other storylines of the other characters back into the series? And then it's like, also the fact of Kazuya leaving like the next day, so they're not even gonna, so him and Chizuru aren't even gonna be in close contact with each other. I don't know about Yamori. Maybe Yamori moves back into the same apartment complex with Kazuya. But yeah, it's just very confusing. I don't know what's gonna happen. I did see kind of a spoiler for the next chapter. It's not in this chapter, so I'm not gonna talk about it here. And it was like the title of it. So I don't know. It's a train wreck, bro. I don't know what else to say, man. If you guys have any intellectual input you want to put on this series, please let me know, because I think my brain's just cooked at this point from reading this dog shit. But yeah, that's really about it. See ya.